Hello, everyone, and welcome to SONIQLOOX Conversations. It's our video interview series where we chat with artists about their music, their process, and the lives they're living alongside of their music. Today, we're joined by Brett Kohler from the Los Angeles-based band The Detours. He's the frontman and the songwriter for The Detours, whose voice has this raw vulnerability and confident swagger, if I may say so myself. I was listening to you guys last night just in preparation for this, and it's really cool. I really do enjoy it, and I could really feel the your influences of like Tom Petty, the Eagles, Bob Dylan, and even a little bit of Oasis in there.
Yeah.
Brett, welcome to the show.
Oh, I appreciate it. And thanks for having me on. It's great to be here, Danny. Thanks.
So, what's going on with you right now? What does today look like for you out there in Los Angeles?
In Los Angeles, well, yeah. I mean, for us and the Detours, we're kind of getting ready, hitting the road a little bit here shortly. We're going up to Lake Tahoe, doing a few shows up there, getting out of town a little bit. We got a release coming out next week, so pretty excited about that too. So
teaser for a little bit later there.
Yeah, right. Sorry. I didn't mean to jump the gun, but kind of getting all that prepped and ready to go, as one does nowadays. And so, yeah, just trying to get together. I think we're getting together a little bit later today and make sure we got the set list ready for the tour. So we'll
I hear you.
But yeah, man.
Well, how long have you been in Los Angeles, and how did you know it felt like the right city to, start this band in?
For sure. I mean, I've been in Los Angeles for quite a while, I think about a decade now.
Okay.
So, which makes it sound super long. But no, I've been here for a while. I mean, I got into music without delving into too much into it. Went through like a medical thing a little while back, and kind of needed like a hobby, right? And so I was kind of trapped on the couch, and taught myself how to play guitar and sing, and then started writing some stuff, and then I met our guitar player Misha at an open mic. He's like, "Hey, do you want to jam?" Jammed with him a few times, and then met the bass player through there, and then the drummer through the bass player. So, kind of all fortuitous how it all, the pieces fell together. But
that's cool.
I mean, it's a great city. I love it here. So it's awesome and great.
I spent 5 years there, so I get you.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
What part of town were you in, man?
I was in Long Beach for 5 years.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's awesome.
I hated the 405, as everyone does.
I avoid it like the plague, man, as much as I can. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, well, as you're putting the band together,
yeah,
I guess if you could put it that way. I mean, as it came together, for you guys, in almost like this natural kind of way, it wasn't forced at all. When did it shift, or when did you realize that, what, this is a real band and not just four guys jamming together?
Sure. Well, we played. I mean, I got like offered a show as like a solo kind of guy at the Viper Room, but I'm like, if I'm going to play the Viper Room, I got to have a band behind me, right? So, I kind of, like I said, I called Misha, I called Ryan and John, and got together, and I'm like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We didn't really have a name or anything, at the time of that first show, but then, we got together, and there was a huge crowd, but there was a reaction in the audience. You know what I mean? I'm like, I think that was the moment, from standing at the stage and kind of looking out and seeing the reaction in the audience, and people were kind of moving and grooving a little bit. I'm like, well, hey, maybe we're on to something here. Maybe we should try to, keep this going. Like this could be cool. So I think that was probably the moment where I realized, I'm like, well, let's keep pushing with this. Let's keep going. Let's see where this goes. And, it's evolved from there, and it's been awesome. So it's been great. Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, what is that feeling like, or what did that feeling mean like to you when you looked out and saw the audience reaction and you saw them digging what you guys were doing?
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to put into words. Because especially, I guess, with these songs, right? I was going through, like I said, that medical stuff, and then, kind of reflecting back on that whole journey, and then seeing it kind of come to that moment. It was, seminal might not be the right word, but it was great. It was a very rewarding experience to know that it was all kind of worth it in a sense.
Yeah.
It's probably the best way I can describe it. And then obviously, I'm good friends with the guys up there, and so doing it with, playing with your friends, and um, yeah, it all felt very worth it. And it was a full circle moment.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can only
yeah,
imagine. I mean, like you said, from going through the medical issues and this
yeah,
journey
yeah.
that you were on to get to that point. Wow, that's
Yeah, I mean,
awesome.
I definitely never thought when I first just started noodling around for something to do while I was stuck on the couch that it would lead to, where it was then and even where it is now. It's been quite the journey.
Is did that lead to the name the Detours because you took like different roads, to get to where
Yeah,
you wanted to be?
I think a little bit, probably subconsciously. This is gonna sound weird, but I'm like, I think when I was a kid, was always like, if I ever have a band, this is what it's gonna be called. And I didn't even
Okay.
play any instruments or anything then. Um, but I was like, well, I guess this is my chance, so I might as well do it. But
Nice.
I think there were some subconscious ties to that. I think kind of the journey and everything that have worked out, I guess in
Yeah.
that sense for sure. Um, but no, it was something I think I wrote it down when I was like in middle school or something. I remember doing it and like if I ever get a band, because I had a bunch of buddies that were in bands, I was playing sports and I'm like, well, if I ever get a band, this is what it's going to be called,
Okay.
and here we are. So
That's cool.
yeah,
I remember doing that as like a kid, just writing different band names. What would be sound cool? And that's
right,
that's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah. That's really cool.
yeah,
Well, right now, you said you
yeah,
do have a new song coming out. I
yeah,
think on the 17th. Is that correct?
yeah, yeah. The
So we're
17th,
we're in June right now. If you guys are watching
yeah,
this, so a few days from now, the Detours have a brand new song getting released. But right now, before that happens,
sure,
as you playing live, no particular reason is the one that's going off right now, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so, what is it about that song in the when you're playing it live that really excites the room?
Um, I feel like there's an energy to the song that the song brings that I think, and the reason I kind of wrote it is just for people to kind of let it rip, right? Just
Yeah,
like have a good time. And I think, there's the riff in it, and I think it just gets people hooked like right away. And I
yeah,
think it's just the energy of the song that it brings, people letting go of everything. You're out at a live show, you're having fun. And I think that's the kind of the energy the song, tries to bring, right? So it's
yeah.
the jump up and bounce around and move and groove and shake your ass kind of song. So
There
that's
you
what,
go.
what we were going for sure.
That's cool. That's really cool. I mean, that's what people want to do, right? They want to forget
Right.
about everything when they're in there. So yeah, kudos to you for doing that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Um, so your influences pretty
Yeah.
classic, right? Tom
Yeah.
Petty, Bob Dylan, Beatles. How do you make your music sound? Take your style. How do you create that without making it too much? Not, I guess, what's the right word? Um, Not so much referential.
Sure. Um, that's a good question. I mean, I just try to like find moments in like their songs that you connect with, whether it's even like in Tom Petty there's like that opening, just an American Girl, that dun, 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 dun,
Hmm.
like that, just that instantly connects you to. It's like finding even like those little moments in the songs, they're like,
Yeah,
man, I connected to that, that brings me back to that, whether it's the chorus, whether it's a little riff, with Bob Dylan, it's like some of the lyrics, you're like, okay, cool, what if I could do something, he's using metaphors and things like that, what if I could sneak something like that into the song, where maybe it's, even if it's just for me, right? But
yeah,
or just for the band, right?
yeah,
Just sneaking those little moments, I think, um, it's generally how I try to use, those bands as an influence. I wish I could sound like the Beatles. I wish we could sound like Tom Petty and stuff like that. But we do the best, I do the best we can and kind of again sneak in those little moments and a little ode to them here, a little ode to them there, to kind of capture that spirit and um, people have identified with that music. I mean, the Beatles shoot 50, 60 years now. So they obviously did something right. So just trying to crack into that formula just a little bit.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
you don't need to sound like them. You're the detours. Sound like
For the
them. Yeah.
teachers, right? Yeah. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, for sure.
Walk me through a little bit what writing or songwriting looks like for you. Where does that ideas come up start from?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's pretty, organic, I would say. Like, the song we have coming out on the 17th, I was like hiking up and running a canyon here in Los Angeles, and I got to the top, and all of a sudden got like the melody for like the chorus down. I
Oh,
was like,
okay.
shit, 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 like, like running down, the hill trying to get it so I don't forget
Don't
it.
forget, don't forget, don't
Yeah, I mean,
forget.
like, we have a song like "Recklessly Confused" that's out now, where, um, I had like a 2 hour window where I was like free at home, and I was like, all right, I'm going to challenge myself to try to like write something. And I had, just the phrase "recklessly confused," and I'm like, all right, let's try to write a song around that. So sometimes you sit on a chord progression, for months, and then all of a sudden you're just sitting there doing it, and then the melody comes. So I wish I could say there was a formula, on how it all works, but it's just all kind of, I guess, just being present and ready to accept it like when it happens. I think,
I like
not to sound cliche, right? But, when you're writing songs and music, I found that's the best. It's when you try to force it, um, sometimes it becomes quite laborious. But it's usually those moments where it's like, all right, you hit a chord, you strike something, you get a little bit of melody, and you're like, okay, I'm doing this now. And
Mhm.
you sit down for an hour or two, and it's usually, those are usually the ones that, take off, or the ones that happen really quickly. So,
Yeah, I think that happens to me at like 4 in the morning.
yeah, right. I have so many voice memos where it was just like me in a hushed voice, not trying to wake anybody up in the house. I'm just, trying to hum a melody or something like that. I think like Keith Richards, like he wrote that riff for Satisfaction. He woke up, like played the tape player, and then you can hear him actually like fall back asleep and like hit his head. Like, because he was trying to do that. So I think it's a common thing, man, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. um, I guess follow up to that question though,
Yeah.
what is the hardest part, or when do you realize when a song feels finished?
Um, that's a good question. When does it feel finished? I don't know. I mean, I'm always just, I try not to overthink it. I guess that's probably the best way to do it, right? You get the basic structure, you get the basic chords and everything like that. I would say when it's finished is probably when it's actually like 60 or 70% done. Nowadays, especially with the band too, like I'll call it, the idea, right? I got all the lyrics, I got the chord changes and things like that. And then, they're great musicians. So like let them, it doesn't have to be all me, right? Like let them add
Right.
their own flavor to it. So, enough where I can feel confident to present it. I guess that's probably the best way I can describe it when it's done, right?
Yeah.
Um, be open to change, be open to having other people's ideas, because it's best when you get all those different minds involved, right? But um, yeah, when I feel confident enough where they're not going to go, this is crap when I pull it up. You know what I mean? That's probably when I know it's done for
When they're not
sure.
looking at you like, Brett, what are you doing?
Do you got what else you got, man?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You mentioned you're going on a mini tour to Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
For sure. So just hitting a few spots up in Tahoe. Um, great time of year to be out and about by the lake. So Cascade Kitchen, LB Brewing, Steamers are the three locations we'll be at. If anybody's in the area, feel free to swing by. Or if you're just in Lake Tahoe at any time, swing by. Uh, we got Wing Huvan, who's like a wing sauce company up there helping us out with the tour. So shout out to those guys. But no, we're excited. I mean, I think we went on again, a little tour in March, first time kind of playing out of town. It was just, it's very cool. I'm sure, as a musician getting out and, playing in front of different crowds and seeing reactions in different cities and just getting to see a little bit more of the world, even if it's just a little corner here, pocket there, etc. It's great. So it's quite the experience. Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. What does it feel like though when a show is actually working for you? When what's happening in the room? What does that feel like?
Um, yeah, I mean, it's just it's an energy that's it's hard to describe. I mean, it's when things are going well on stage, it's really there's not much better than that, right? And like seeing people's
Yeah.
reactions and seeing people, vibe. I'm sure you can relate, as a musician yourself. It's just it's a one of a kind kind of feeling when people are able to, connect with the music. And you can see people having their own little moments with the lyrics and things like that. And you're like, you have your own stuff that's in there for you. They're having, things that they can relate to. It might not be what you wrote the song about at all, but they're
Mm,
relating to it in like different
mhm,
ways. And it's just like,
mhm.
I've had slow songs that people have danced to, and I'm like, I never thought people would, dance to that. You know what I mean? But obviously something, it struck a chord somewhere, literally and figuratively.
There
So
you
it's
go.
yeah, it's a one in a kind of feeling. It's hard to really put into words, but that's the best I got for you, man.
Hey, but it's something that you wouldn't trade right now for anything, though, right?
No, no, absolutely
I
not.
hear you. So a little bit, just some quick lightning questions, just about
Sure, let's do
yourself.
it, man. Yeah.
What do you do when you're not making music?
Well, my job, I'm in tech sales. Big sports guy, so always, watching sports. Grew up in Minnesota, so big hockey fan.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so those are kind of the big things that I do. Yeah, on the day to day.
What's a song that you wish you had written?
Oh, great. American Girl, Tom Petty. That would have been great. Yeah.
Great song, great song. And what's the last album you that you can recall that you played start to finish?
Last album I played start to finish, Rubber Soul by the Beatles.
Very cool. Right on, right on. Well, what's next for the Detours after your tour? You got a new song coming out.
Yeah.
What do you think coming up next for you guys?
What's coming up next? So we are actually working on finishing up an album. So it takes a while as an indie band to get everything together, but it's coming together. So it's kind of the next step. 11 tracks should be great. Excited for everybody to hear it, and then hopefully keep going on the road. Try to keep expanding. We've been California and Arizona. Hopefully, maybe we can make it out to the Midwest where I grew up, or the South where our bassist is from. So I think those are kind of the next steps, but definitely trying to get that album out here before the end of the summer. That's the goal.
Awesome. End of the summer. Ambitious. I like it.
We're trying, man. We're trying. So
Well, right on, Brett. Thank you so much
yeah, man.
for spending a few minutes here at Sonic Looks to talk about you guys, and great getting to know a little bit about you. So thanks again.
Yeah, Danny, it's been a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me on.